Every day he waits for his sons before dark. Even half a second late, he screams at them, no mercy, until he sees them sprinting toward home. The younger son rushes to lock every door and window. But that is not all. Even the doors already locked get a second layer of reinforcement. But even with all that prep, Cage still looks terrified. Thing is, once night falls, this world doesn't belong to humans anymore. He carefully checks for anything he missed, not even a fly getting through. After rounds of screening, they finally let themselves breathe just barely. Only after checks that thorough could they spare time for anything else. But then at dinner, Cage still couldn't shake the fear. But then, soon as he stopped talking, the dog caught a whiff of danger, started clawing at the ground, all restless. Their hearts sank instantly. Tonight was going to be another sleepless night. Following the plan they'd agreed on before, they split 3 ways, no hesitation. Cagey grabbed the weapons stashed nearby. Thomas moved real careful, holding the oil lamp toward the front gate. But even after countless nights like this, the moment that gate got slammed, the boy still couldn't fight the fear inside, till his father's voice hit his ears. Thomas snapped back to reality. Both of them threw everything into being the third shield. They knew if the line broke, death was all that waited. That knock means one thing: whatever's outside, it is leaving. But the boys face no relief at all. Doesn't know how many nights they can survive. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. The paradise people dream of was never some peaceful utopia. It is people in despair using love and will, holding up a tiny shelter from the storm. Can the 3 of them survive each night? Today, we're watching A Quiet Place. Next morning, after being abandoned, Cage goes outside to check. The claw marks on the door, horrifying, means the monster's attacks are getting worse. To strengthen their defenses, the 3 rush out together, searching for supplies. But Cage agreed yesterday, let him go see his girl. Thomas wasn't having it though. Thomas was instantly crushed. One side, his family needed help. Other side, his girl he hadn't seen in forever. The whole drive he is torn apart. But turns out hormones beat logic every time. He told his brother to stop the car. This wasn't Thomas's first time being reckless. Little brother thought he'd be fine. Figured nothing bad would happen this time either. But play with fire long enough, you get burned. The safe hours slipped away fast. Every dangerous moment felt like forever. Blink once and dusk crept back in. That is when Thomas finally dragged himself out. But he'd stayed way too long today. He started walking faster, cutting through the woods, sprinting toward home as fast as he could. But then, one wrong move. The brother's already at the meeting spot, waiting too long, getting restless. He keeps scanning everything around him, but no sign of Thomas anywhere. At this rate, if he waits any longer, no way he is making it home before dark. So he tells himself, Thomas must have already left. And that is when he starts the car and drives off. Back home, Cage is losing his mind waiting. He hears an engine outside and rushes straight out the door. Cage knew Thomas must have hit trouble on the way, and that is when he rushed inside, no hesitation. They both knew deep down this trip wasn't gonna end well. But then he is a father. No way he'd leave his son to die. Cage and the dog tracking Thomas down. The boys running around lost no clue where to go. His shadow in that dark cave. But asking for help won't save you. It is not the creatures he fears most. It is being completely alone, no one coming. He can't hear his father calling, can't see his brother anywhere, and every tiny sound around him could be something deadly. The thing he feared most, it happened. Thomas's pupils shrink, pure terror, couldn't snap out of it. First time he has ever faced the creature, and that is when survival kicks in. He pulls out a small knife, hands shaking, drives it straight into the monster's palm, just when he thought he was done for. But then Cage heard him came running. He pulled that creature away from the entrance fast. Sky's gone completely dark now. They got no choice left, hiding deep in that trench from the creature. They really thought blocking the entrance would work. Figured they'd handle whatever came next. But then the ground starts caving in. Meanwhile, the brother passes out after a long day. He didn't notice the hatch was already open. But then, a bony arm reaches for him fast. The real terror isn't just monsters in the dark. It is when danger comes, and you're completely alone, looking so impossibly small, when no one's left to reach out. All you've got is yourself. The world became hell. Survival became the only rule. And that is when kindness and selfishness blur. Choosing to hold on or fall gets harder. But then that blur, that struggle, turns out to be the most honest look at what humans really are. People who survive the worst didn't make it on instinct alone. It is because even in hell, they had the courage to stay themselves. Thing is, what keeps people going isn't luck. It is love and a hope that never dies. It is humanity clawing through the dark, refusing to give in no matter what. No one's ever been perfect. They're fragile. They're stubborn.